and welcome.
No, you
I love
can't.
it when I can get the timing just right. Windows 12, it's almost here.
And the world will never be the same.
Throw out your PC because it's old garbage, according to Microsoft.
Because it won't run Windows 12.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the phrase Windows 12 a lot in this video. We actually don't know that it would be called Windows 12. There was some talk from Microsoft that it might be like an updated version of Windows 11.
No, they confirmed this. They confirmed it's going to be called Windows Doors.
Windows Doors?
Windows Doors.
Windows Doors walls?
Microsoft House, because it has everything, including the kitchen sink.
And nothing that you actually want to use.
No.
Likely going to be launching in the next couple of months. But before we talk about the Windows 12 stuff, I think it's worth talking about the existing Windows 10 and 11 thing. So I read a stat the other day. In March, Windows 11 market share fell versus Windows 10. The exact same thing happened on Steam. On Steam, Windows 10 gained 0.3% market share. Windows 11 went down, Windows 10 went up. Windows 11 actually dipped by 1.4%. But the fact that we are, 2 years and change into Windows 11, and Windows 10 is actually gaining instead of losing? What?
I don't look at these because I'm not a nerd.
You don't check the Valve Steam hardware survey every month with bated breath?
I'm just wondering how that even happens because
you can still buy new Windows 10 keys. So I assume that it's from people who are building new PCs and loading Windows 10 and Windows instead of Windows 11.
But if you're building a new PC, you can do 11.
Okay, you can, but you might not want to. I think a lot of people still prefer Windows 10. Much like, remember how many people used Windows 7 for how long until after Windows 8 came out?
Yeah, I guess I like 11.
Time to get everyone else on the bandwagon.
Hold on. Before we get it, you got the numbers in front of you?
I have
Where
so
did
many
Linux
numbers.
go?
Linux on Steam is 1.94%. It is slowly going up. Well, I can tell you that 1% of gamers use macOS and 2% of gamers use Linux. And everyone else
I'm
uses
part of the 1%, finally! Mainly because of City Skylines.
Windows 10 is winding down support. So October of next year, you will no longer get updates on Windows 10 unless you're a corporate big spender who wants to spend like $50 a month on custom tailored Windows updates. Not me. You're gonna want to get off of Windows 10 sooner than later, preferably sooner. But with Windows 12 coming, I think a lot of people are probably waiting to see what actually that is before you make that leap.
Your choice is to jump across the cavern. Nope. The wall slowly moving, getting ready to push you off. You're gonna have to take that jump one way or another, whether you like it or not.
Or you can reinstall Windows 7. It's always an option. This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
In a world of generic social media profiles, it's time to stand out. Show how legitimate and serious your brand is with a gorgeous website from Squarespace.
Whether you're a content creator, small business, or you just want to build a custom interactive shrine to Shrek, Squarespace has got you covered.
With hundreds of flexible templates, it's easy to find something that will fit your specific needs and make it work for you. And you don't even have to be an IT wizard, since Squarespace's fluid engine, drag and drop interface makes it super easy to create exactly what you need.
The good thing is we've made ourselves a page just for this with Squarespace's super simple built-in store. You can sell tons of merch to your favorite ogre or...
You can make it layered like onions.
You can make it layered,
and ogres.
hypothetically, but you could also sell your merch, your time, whatever you want directly on your Squarespace store.
Check out squarespace.com/thisis to get your 14-day free trial and 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. And again, huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
Because they have layers!
Like ogres! Donkey! Let's talk about the big elephant. It's not even in the room, it's
outside the windows?
Just staring at you through the window. A lot of people couldn't update to 11 because their systems were deemed too old for 11. I do understand a little bit from like the Windows side. Look, we can't support every piece of hardware forever. But like the cutoff was so aggressive that it's like, oh, my machine from like 2 years ago doesn't work with it. That was way too much. And now you have people who built like expensive PCs who couldn't do it. And it's just gonna get worse when Grandma and Grandpa are like, well, my system says I should upgrade. Well, no, you can't upgrade because your system, it's not like Windows is like, oh, nope, I can't do it. They still be like, hey, you should not be using this operating system.
Time to buy a new PC.
I will also say, not only does it just say you should do it, but it keeps checking. And I'm like, bro, it's not, I didn't change anything. It's gonna still be incompatible.
Well, I think it's the reason why Windows 10 support is actually slightly going up right now versus 11. But I think the real key is going to be what kind of upgrade Windows 12 is. One of the big pushes is, of course, AI. I don't know if you remember at CES, Microsoft announced that they're swapping one of the buttons on the keyboard with the Copilot button.
Yep. Which I've liked Copilot. If you know how to use it, it's a nice tool.
Totally, absolutely. And this is directly from Intel, who were recently talking about this. You will actually have Copilot running locally. So right now, all the AI stuff is running in the cloud. They have to, obviously have a connection, takes a little bit of latency, yada, yada, yada. Well, AI PCs will not only need that Copilot button, but also will have to have an NPU on board that can essentially run a probably smaller version of Copilot, but running it locally so that it will be significantly snappier, at least in theory. So,
well, it's not even the snappier it's the fact that it's on your device. It's not going to a server.
Yes.
It's a huge step in privacy, which is a major concern for AI.
Yeah, because you can basically give it access to everything on your system if you trust it, which theoretically, if it's all running locally, it can. Now, there's an asterisk there. My expectation, though, is that it will try to do everything on device,
and then
it will reach out to the cloud.
Yeah.
Because I know that the Gemini Nano model, which is rolling out to, I think, Pixel 8 and Galaxy S24, the Google AI model, it treats it in a somewhat similar way where it tries to run stuff on device when it can, but when something's too complicated, when it can't figure it out, whatever the case is, it will reach out to the cloud. I'm sure there will be some settings where you can just tell it to not use cloud, blah, blah, whatever, but it will be at least a step forward in giving you some more privacy and security. To be fair, what is Windows 12 without this new Copilot? Realistically, Copilot is already on 11, right? Like, there's not like a huge difference. And if you don't have a new, pretty much brand new AI PC with something like one of these Snapdragon X Elite chips or one of the latest Intel or AMD chips, you're not actually going to be able to run it on device. So I think a lot of manufacturers and Microsoft are hoping that this is going to drive you to go upgrade at least your laptop with something that has this capability. Because if you're just upgrading your system from Windows 10 or Windows 11, odds are you will not be able to run it. You've got all these people who are on Windows 10, a market share that is growing. Is 12 going to be that interesting?
When you're forcing everyone to do it, it doesn't have to be interesting.
Carrot meets stick.
Yeah, like there's so much of Windows that needs to be updated anyway. 11 was supposed to be an overhaul.
I would say 11 was actually a pretty good overhaul.
I would say it's only Surface.
Ha! Microsoft Surface?
You want to talk about like the software. I don't want to talk about any of that.
Windows is literally software, my dude.
I want to talk about the implications.
Is it billions of dollars?
With something like this, we are on the brink of like a massive bubble that's about to burst with PC gaming.
Okay, please elaborate.
You look at like the pricing of GPUs. I think NVIDIA is going to slowly start stepping away from gaming GPUs. You got AMD, who seems to be focusing more and more on the integrated side.
True.
Intel,
they're trying.
They're
giving it their best shot.
Hello, we have GPUs too.
For now.
If we thought we saw a shortage during like COVID time, I think we're going to go through another big shortage of parts as millions of people have to go and buy new systems now if they want to keep gaming. All the AAA titles are going to be needing that hardware anyway. This is my complaint against you.
Yeah.
I think you look at like what has been too much, because so many things have been different the last like 5 years. In the previous thing, the OS didn't matter nearly as much when you're talking about it.
True.
Now it's, in order for this stuff to work, the OS has to support it. These are features that are like so entrenched in PC right now that consoles can't keep up with that.
Because this is imminent, you think that people are going to be forced to upgrade just simply because Windows 10 is going to fall off of support, and you're going to have naturally lots of incentive to not be on operating systems no longer support it. Totally agree with you. Well, I guess my argument against your argument here, Windows 12, I don't think is actually going to require one of these AI PCs to work. Obviously, if you want to get the most out of it, but there's zero shot that a new version of Windows only works on systems that came out the last 3 months.
It's not even just the hardware side and the gaming. When Windows 10 loses support, the security nightmare of millions of people.
You can upgrade to 11.
No, you can't. If you can't upgrade to 11 now,
you won't be able to.
Like, you won't be able to do it. Like, unless when 10 expires and they loosen it up, which I don't think they will. Your options are to stay on 10,
right,
and have a security nightmare and have your bank hacked every 10 seconds. Or you have to go buy a new PC. That's going to cause prices to go up. Stock's going to go down. I think we're going to see a new wave of scalpers. This is a calm before the storm where we kind of like PC gaming is going to suck for a while.
So let me actually look at some numbers here to back up your theory. 54% of gamers are running Windows 10. 41% are running Windows 11. Okay. So either gamers are going to actually care about this, upgrade to Windows 11, buy new hardware, yada, 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 or 18 months from now, you're going to see 35-40% of the gamers on Steam running a completely unsupported operating system. How fast can people upgrade? Like,
a lot of the reason that people aren't doing it now is because they can't afford it.
You have a perfectly good PC. Like, why would you need to upgrade?
Exactly. But I can't be on Windows 10 because I'm gonna get hacked all the time because there's security exploits. So it's $40 a month.
No one's gonna pay that.
If you want to buy the extended Windows 10, but like that's for businesses. That's not for consumers. People already just weren't able to afford a brand new computer, which is why they're on 10 currently.
Part of the reason why these restrictions are so limiting is because Microsoft wants to encourage you to buy new hardware, new software, the whole thing, right? Everyone makes money when you throw your old thing in the garbage and buy something new. Completely understand that as like a rationale. The AI PCs at the beginning are going to be pretty much exclusively in laptops and tablets. Just fine.
I'm not even talking about AI stuff.
No, but it's two-pronged, right? Because like that's what's going to drive the adoption of you to throw your 4-year-old laptop in the garbage and buy a new one. People are going to absolutely go out and start scalping GPUs and all this kind of stuff because suddenly there's going to be
like the affordable
400 million people who need a new PC.
Affordable like B450 boards aren't supported, right? Like,
oh god, what is actually the minimum Windows 12? 8th gen Intel. Yeah. So I mean, to be fair, 8th gen Intel is a number of years old at this point, but still, there's plenty of people who have very solid systems that are going to not be supported.
Yeah,
so
like me. So I guess my question is like, you guys are YouTubers. Is your advice just like, okay, if you can afford it, like go now before the wave?
No, it's not.
No,
it's not.
I think we're gonna see a lot more people buying pre-built. The AMD integrated cards are getting pretty good. There's also the shift in gaming, which again sucks, where a lot of the games are not super graphically demanding because they want it to run on everything. The live service games like Fortnite and Apex and stuff like that.
It's got to run on your phone and your RTX 4090. My recommendation would be hang tight for the moment. The next few months, we're going to find out not only more about Windows 12 or Windows 11 AI Edition or whatever the case is. We're going to have a much better idea, not only on the more laptop side with the AI PCs, which I actually think will be a pretty good upgrade. I'm very excited to see what everyone feels like they're cooking up some cool stuff, right? Is it time to upgrade your PC now because you know you want to upgrade it? Or do you want to hang tight because either the upgrades aren't worth it, or maybe you're just going to hope that Windows throws everyone a bone and supports Windows 10 for a little bit longer? Because like, I don't see another way around this besides being patient and trying to understand what you're working with, because that's not going to happen. But you could theoretically go and upgrade your PC to like, I don't know, a 9th gen Intel chip or something right now. And then, oh, sorry, well, 10th gen only and up, you know? So it's just
that's my problem with this, is like, if you were going to upgrade your system, and this is not advice, so don't yell at me when you do this and whatever. If I was to upgrade my system right now, I would only upgrade to maybe 1 gen behind.
I actually agree with that.
Like, so
for safety, just purely for safety.
Right, purely for safety.
Unless you're definitely building a brand new PC.
Like, if you're building a brand new PC, you're gonna be fine. Go for it. Like, you're fine, whatever.
But if you're thinking about upgrading and you're not sure what you want to do,
it just used to be you could be like, oh, I can go and get a couple gen behind. It's still gonna be pretty good. But like, that is complete up in the air mystery right now. And that's exact problem that a lot of people ran into with 11.
If I were to take a guess, and again, like Matt said, don't hold me to this. This is just my sort of gut on this. Windows 11 AI or Windows 12 will probably have the same hardware specifications. So I think if you can run Windows 11, you'll likely be able to run this new version. Now, obviously, you won't have all the built-in AI features unless you have the hardware for that, but that's fine, right? Like, you'll be on a version of Windows that will get updates for years to come. That is my expectation, is that Windows 11 was like the great cull of older systems, and they can't do that again. Now, I could be totally wrong. Microsoft might just decide, you know what? We're only going to support systems that are only, 3 or 4 years old. Anything older than that, every few years, we're going to just throw them out. That would be really unfortunate. It's totally possible, but I'd say that if you're running Windows 11 right now, you should be fine for Windows 12. That's my hope.
Yeah.
I really hope I'm right.
But as we're seeing with these numbers, 50% of the market is not.
And it's growing. More and more people are using Windows 10 right now than 11, which is crazy.
The only thing I could tell you for certain is come November, stop using banking on your Windows 10 PC. Let us know what you think about Windows 12. Let's prepare for Windows 13.
Wait, do you think that the ATMs are running Windows 12 yet?
No, I think they're still running XP.
They're on 7 and it's a pirated version.
They got it from cdkings.com.